That's right. We're back with another episode of the Space Opera Music Podcast. Oh my goodness. We're here to talk Star Wars today. Wow. What an incredible series of events we have all been through recently. But we're here. Yeah. Anyway, I'm probably going to have to cut this intro out.
Why?
Oh, I can't even think straight. I mean, anyway, this is Ashton with SOMP, one of your co-hosts, joined by none other than the man himself.
It's me, the Grease Patch.
The 501st Legion legend. Spy.
I'll work on that.
Yeah. Awesome, everyone. Glad you're here. Happy SOMP Saturday.
Happy SOMP Saturday.
Yeah, as always, a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to talk Star Wars. So, thanks for joining.
Today, we're going to be talking about the incredible John Williams documentary that is finally out.
Mm-hmm.
We have been looking forward to this for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, up front, this is just so cool to have this released now while he's still alive and can like see the appreciation, you know, or just even more so than he already does, right? I don't know. It's just so cool, man. So, but yeah, that's what we're talking about today, and really moving. Finally got to watch that. So first, we should talk about our musical experience of the week.
We should. You go first. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, my musical experience of the week is actually, it's been diving back into Anakin's theme from episode 1. Everyone who's listened for a minute knows that Anakin's theme is my favorite Star Wars theme for a multitude of reasons. And
from your favorite movie.
Yes. And yeah, and so, you know, but I've been taking a pretty extensive break from content creation and like everything. I haven't touched the piano, haven't touched my trumpet, like haven't composed anything in like a minute. And you know, in a lot of that was just, you know, like the exhaustion from the Acolyte fallout and, you know, all of that. But, you know, some family, you know, family
life.
stuff too, life, hurricanes stuff, you know. But yeah, so digging back in, and man, just really freaking awesome. Like getting back on the piano, hashing out harmony and stuff. It's
shredding.
Just I wouldn't say that, but yeah, it's just been really like therapeutic in a way.
Good.
Yeah, I'm actually hopping on Anna Trumbo's podcast, the Tea Time on Tatooine, which you and I have been talking about this. But yeah, gonna kind of show some SOMP love over there. And what I'm going to be talking about actually is kind of what I want if or should I say if or when we host a panel at Celebration, Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, definitely when.
It's the topic that I would want us to cover, which is like the musical dialogue of Anakin's evolution, like entire evolution. And so that's kind of what I'm just kind of like shedding that stuff for. And it's just been really therapeutic, like from a Star Wars fan being exhausted point of view. Like, yeah, it's been really nice. So that's been my experience of the week.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Somehow. So mine is actually, I told you last time that I finished the Story of Outlaws. And now I played it on Platinum Trophy.
Oh, sick.
On the PlayStation. So now it's totally complete.
Oh, wow. Congrats. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. And obviously there's some music. There's one trophy saying that you have to get the best score at an arcade game. There are 2 of them. And then I found out that there can be another button pushed, which helps to get more points. And this arcade music is very well done as well. Nice. It feels very nicely tied into all this.
Is it like 8-bit kind of stuff, or
Yes, somehow, but not entirely, yes.
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super cool. Is that
And you
and
really get immersed into that when you are in a place where there is a arcade machine, and
mhm.
you can hear it from far away, and then you go into it, and then she says, "Let's take a little breather, Nix," and then you go all into. That's fun.
That is fun. Dope. Do you know is that on the Source Music album?
I don't know. I didn't check for that.
Hmm.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah,
I'll check it out later on.
it's they've I feel like they've been pretty thorough with like like for Acolyte, for example, like the album, it's like 100 tracks. Every single piece of
Yeah, yeah,
underscoring is
yeah.
in there. It's like they've been really thorough with that kind of stuff recently.
Mm-hmm.
Jedi Survivor, for example. So
True. Dude, I sent you the score, right? From
mhm.
Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, actually I already had it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Before you sent me. Yeah. Yeah, it was actually I got it from Stephen Burton did a master class with Berkeley recently. Um
Oh, yeah, that one.
where he was talking, it was like him and like some other like kind of like video game executives.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think it was like the president, maybe not the president, but like some like big wig at EA Games.
Oh, yeah,
Um
okay.
which is like, whoa, okay. Anyway, so yeah, it was like a panel of big names, and Steven was one of them, so which was so cool. But anyway, like his like big present to everyone in the masterclass was giving that away. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. And it sounds like they've been doing that with all of these different webinars that happen every now and then. So pretty cool to see that score floating around. Um, I haven't had a chance to dig into it at all, but yeah, pretty cool to have it. So
Yeah, sure. Sure thing.
cool.
Sweet. So should we
Well,
dive into this week's topic?
yeah, man, let's talk about the music of John Williams,
Yes.
produced by Steven Spielberg, which is just
The best.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just like such a for their relationship, like what a cool
Mm-hmm.
like gift and
Mm-hmm.
thing to like I don't know to do. Like that's just so cool, man.
And to see them in action, chatting and reminiscing about old times is so good to see.
Actually, yeah, I'm trying to figure out did I thought Steven Spielberg produced it. Maybe he didn't.
Yeah, he was not directing but producing, I
Yeah,
think.
okay, cool. That would make sense. Yeah, I'll have to like actually go through the credits. But yeah, anyway, that was so dope. So some of the things that like really stood out to me were so I knew that he was a jazz pianist because
Mm-hmm.
the World on a String album, we've played
Mm-hmm.
it on the show before. It's just like some of the most swinging arrangements. And he's like killing it on piano, like playing like solos and comping and stuff. So like so sick. But I just didn't know like how much he did even like after and before that album.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's that rhythm and motion.
Jazz orchestra,
Yeah, the
right?
orchestra, yeah, which they showed on in the documentary, and I had never seen or heard that before. Like that's so sick. So yeah, just just like writing down notes, like so much homework to do and stuff to check out. Um, but so cool. But even more than that, I didn't realize how involved in Hollywood he was.
Mm-hmm. Like
Like
TV wise and,
yeah, like
everything. Yeah.
like he was in it. He
Mm-hmm.
was doing like everything.
Playing pretty much piano
Yeah,
playing and then conducting, scoring,
right. Orchestrating and stuff. And like
orchestrating.
that's
Yeah.
so crazy. Like the amount of work that
Mm-hmm.
he was doing, like just the volume. It's not like it was his 15th or 20th scored film that was Star Wars and made it big.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was working just so much work he was doing before. he became a household name, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really cool. Like I didn't actually, I've never gone to like Wikipedia and just like looked at his entire discography before.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just so like eye-opening, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So much music to explore,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah,
cool.
and he was playing in the army band, which is pretty
Yeah.
interesting as well.
That was cool. I like knew of that like time period of, you
Mm-hmm.
know, for him, but I didn't know like any details or anything. And that was really cool to yeah, get some details and like just all the cool photos that they had and stuff.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, he says it in the documentary that he grew up with parents being musicians, or his dad being musicians, mom being a singer and dancer.
Mhm.
So that it was the only logical thing to do to be a musician.
Right. Like I love what he said where it was like that's just what you do when you grow up. Like
Yeah,
that's what everyone does when they grow up. They
because
just
all
perform.
your parents' friends are musicians, and you just play, and you go and play in the studio, and
Yeah.
it's the most natural thing. I mean, his son is the singer of Toto.
Right. Yeah, and you know what? They did not mention his son also worked on some Star Wars stuff. They didn't mention that, did
No,
they?
no, no.
Well, that's cool. That's a cool little Easter egg for anyone who I'm sure we've talked about it before, but for
Hmm.
anyone who didn't know, yeah, he worked on like Lop Neck, for example, and like Augie's.
Hmm.
You know, he worked on a few others, like the Ewok celebration, I think. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, and to see that there's a bunch of so different scores that he did within 1 year. For example, there is in 1993, there is Jurassic Park and Schindler's List, which is
Mhm.
so completely different.
I
And
had no
it's
idea the overlap for some of these.
hmm.
Like the only overlap that I knew of was um Attack of the Clones and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh yeah.
That was so some overlap because we have the Zam Wessel chase and the Quidditch match. Like
Hmm.
there are like several bars just copied and pasted kind of thing, just
Yeah.
like in a different key, you know.
He scored the
So
first three Harry Potter, right? Or
yeah,
four? No, three.
first
Yeah,
three, yeah,
just three.
yeah, um, yeah, man. So yeah, just like how many things overlapped. Like I think wasn't there some overlap in 77 for A New Hope?
I don't
Oh,
know.
oh crap, I'd have to go back and look. I think there was some overlap with other
He
movies
was
that
about
came out.
to score for a different movie with more better known actors, and Steven Spielberg told him not to do it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. And maybe it
Hmm.
was just like right after that was the Close Encounters movie and
Yeah.
some others that were just, you know, just like for the masterpieces that each of his scores are, like for them to be cranked out one after the other like this, you know, like even just from A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back, like how many years are between those,
Hmm.
you know?
Three, two, no, three.
Right.
Yeah.
And if he's not, you know, and if he's doing a movie or several in between there, you know, like how is this
Hmm.
possible?
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling. Like,
I mean, he's been working like is working all over the place.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of the eye-opening thing I was mentioning with how much
Yeah.
work he was doing in Hollywood. Like he, yeah, like that's how it just kind of explains like
Yeah.
how he's able to do
Yeah.
that.
And then obviously he was devastated when his wife died and he had to take a break before
Dude,
all those big 70s movies.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that was on my notes. I
Hmm.
I did not know about this.
Okay.
I did not know about this. Like I knew that he had remarried, but like I didn't know any details.
Hmm.
I did not know about this. So I actually got pretty emotional
Hmm.
you know, during that, especially whenever he kind of got emotional too. Like
Yes.
that was like, oh my gosh, like it's so heavy and oh man, but just and how beautiful it was how he described his like growth through
Mm-hmm.
that, and
Mm-hmm.
how he felt like she was helping him or has been helping him like
Yes.
ever since.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, I feel like we hear it in his
Uh-huh.
music. It's like kind of it feels like that's the reason why he can tap into so much of the human experience in his scores.
Mm-hmm.
And like and it also kind of like adds a layer of depth whenever I listen to scores that move me emotionally, like whether that's, really sad, traumatic score, like Anakin's betrayal or something, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
really like just kind of dark and somber, and like the funeral sequence for
Mm-hmm.
Qui-Gon, right? Like wow, like what a layer of depth that's now added to those kind of tracks. But then also a layer of depth that's added to tracks like the end of Home Alone 1, the finale.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, dude, like I just like get emotional thinking about that cue.
Hmm.
Um, One of my favorite John Williams cues, that one. Um, and so just yeah, just man, it's like, oh, no wonder. No wonder he's able to do this, and
Mm-hmm.
why his scores like just capture us. It's just it's because there's like that's just yeah, I don't know. That's just a layer that I did not know was there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So that was really moving. That was kind of like
Totally.
probably one of the highlights for me was
Yeah.
kind of like learning that. Yeah.
I heard the story before, but it was nice to have it said it out loud from them that Steven Spielberg showed Schindler's List to John Williams, and he saw the movie and he just need some minutes to like gather himself and to take a walk outside. And then he said, "You need a better musician to do this." And Steven Spielberg said, "Yes, I know, but they're all dead."
Yes. I love that story so much. Yeah. It's so good. I don't
It's
know
so freaking
where
good.
it is. I don't know where I've heard that before, but I had heard that story a few times
Hmm.
before, and it just, oh, it's so good.
Both
Um,
agreeing on the same thing, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There was, I really loved seeing everyone in it talking about John
Hmm.
Williams.
Yes.
Like we had, I think Thomas Newman is his name. He's the one.
Hmm.
He scored a couple of things. Let me make sure I get this right. I'm pretty sure he's the one who did like Nemo.
James Mangold
Yeah, yeah.
and
There
so
we go.
many
Yeah.
others.
It
Yeah,
was, yeah, yeah. But yeah,
was
dude,
him.
and like Chris Martin of
Hmm.
Coldplay.
Hmm.
Dude, like sorry everyone. Out here with my hot takes, like I love Stars Episode 1, for example. Another hot take from your co-host
You
Ashton.
do like Coldplay.
I love Coldplay.
Yeah,
Like
same.
I mean, or I guess
Hmm.
everyone who's been listening for a while knows like I've gone through quite the variety of musical evolution genres.
Hair-wise as well.
Yeah. And yeah, and dude, I love Coldplay. They have such a
Hmm.
special place in my heart. Chris
Yeah,
Martin
same.
is one of my favorite like singers. Yeah,
Have you
it
been to a
was
concert of them?
I have
Yeah,
I have, and it is so cool.
it
The
is
one,
phenomenal.
yeah, the one that I went to, they had, I don't know if they still do this, but the one I went to, they debuted these like light up wristbands.
Yeah, yeah, they still do it.
Yeah, it was for their Mayo Xyloto tour,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, that was magical. So
Hmm.
yeah, incredible shows. Um, I think my favorite album is Parachutes. For any Coldplay fans out there,
Interesting.
that's their first like big album. It's the black one um
Globe.
with the globe, yeah. Or at
Mine
least I
is
think
X and
it's called
Y.
Parachutes. I don't know,
Yes,
but
parachutes.
yeah. Anyway, sorry to
So
detour there.
George Lucas is in the documentary as well.
Yes.
It's so good to hear him talk. Like, yes, he always does, I know.
Yes.
Being on Wales, being on
Yeah.
dude, it was so devastating to see the bit where he says that John Williams goes into the studio and he has written so much music, but it was all deleted or cut out of the movie.
Yeah. The editing process, like,
Yeah, man.
and his editor's like, John Williams is gonna kill me. Like he's already written all this stuff, and like the other guy's like, I know. But
Yesterday it
yeah,
was 45 seconds. Today it's 1:45. Now it's canceled.
yeah,
Ah.
yeah, yeah. So crazy. But with all of that, it's like John Williams it doesn't phase him. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would bother me to no end. So just another marker of like why he's so great. Dude, I mean, yeah, I loved how much George Lucas was in it. I'm a huge George Lucas like
Mm-hmm.
stan, but seeing him get emotional seeing him
Yes.
get emotional, that
Yes.
that moved me. That
When
was
he was
like
talking about first sketches being recorded, or I think.
so yeah, and specifically when going to sit down and and hear it for the first time
Yeah.
with the picture
Mm-hmm.
and he was like finding out whether or not it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's where he like really got choked up was whenever he was
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like remembering that feeling of like, oh, is this going to fail? And
Mm-hmm.
that was really cool to see. Um, just like
Totally.
just kind of like that raw emotion from George Lucas. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool, man.
And having this talk about the binary sunset, the which didn't make it to the screen, but it's on the full score.
Yeah, like
The
the alternate cue.
alternate cue, yeah.
That was a
And
crazy
then
cue.
yeah,
That
it's a good
was
cue.
it is, but like so different and just
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad they changed it.
Yeah. And George Lucas said that's not quite it, and just he said, "Okay, I'm gonna do it tonight and present it to you tomorrow." Okay, that works.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, and it's actually quite good to see that it was recorded on different time frames, I think, because
Hmm.
he looks different and the shape of his beard is different, and it has been a long time producing this bit.
Yeah. It was cool to see some 2024 footage when they dedicated one of the Sony buildings.
Oh, I haven't
Um,
seen that one.
oh, spoiler alert.
I have to watch the last 15 minutes.
Oh, sorry,
But keep on
spoiler
keep on
alert.
talking. No, no, keep on talking. That's why
Uh,
we're here.
yeah. We'll do a part two of this. Okay. Well, I won't talk anymore about that and beyond. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, let me go back on my notes here, like
Hmm.
chronologically a little bit. A couple of points that stood out to me. One was when John Williams was talking about, he was talking about how someone asked him, why does music work the way it does?
Hmm.
And he was talking about, or someone was explaining how John Williams said that he doesn't know exactly, but one of the theories that he subscribes to is that it gets down like music connects to our primal instincts
Hmm.
is kind of like how he worded that, I think.
Hmm. Yes.
And that was just so profound. Um,
Hmm.
and then like all of the different examples that he would have given, like the drums and um, just like different, like hunter-gatherer, instincts and cause and effect and things. Um, and
Yeah.
environmental sounds and musically
There is
interpreting those.
there is proof that music is besides like eating, drinking, sleeping, and love, one of the necessities to each human being. That's has been proved.
Yeah, I believe it. So hearing that and that, then that kind of that being one of the theories that he subscribes to,
Mm-hmm.
for this particular question, I think that's also one of the big things that we hear come through in his music, and
Mm-hmm.
the reason why his underscoring is so just, I don't know, he's just able to cover such a vast emotional spectrum
Mm-hmm.
and capture so much. I'll have to, I know we've talked about this before too, but or maybe we haven't, I don't know, but Dennis Ham, he's the keyboard player for Thundercat.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been talking for like a while. He started following me like like last year whenever I was making videos, and we've been talking about music theory and stuff on and off, and he started this program called Syntasonics.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I've showed you that, right?
You used it on the show.
Oh, did I? Oh, cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Amazing. So yeah, Syntasonics. Yeah. So anyway, that whole philosophy and kind of like what Dennis Ham is going for, in terms of like studying music and studying harmony and theory. I would like to kind of talk to him about this documentary, like specifically that primal instincts
Mm-hmm.
theory, you know. I think that would be, I'd like to get his input on that, and then I can share that input here.
Yeah,
So,
sweet.
but yeah, I wanted to kind of ask you what you thought about that theory, like of all of the different ways that you could explain the reason why music works the way it does. Is that the best theory in your mind,
Yeah,
or
sure. Sure
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
yeah. I mean, it
There's no
is
better way to explain it. I mean,
right.
um, it is so deeply connected in our brains and our souls. When you look at music therapy for people who are suffering from
Hmm.
dementia,
Hmm.
is so freaking. It's almost scary when like 90 plus year old people play the piano and they can move their fingers and they do play perfectly.
Right.
It is so crazy.
It
So
is.
there's so much power, almost like when you have a scent and then you get flashback to the scent where you smelled it before, or like smelled something that you
Hmm.
have not been for a while. So
Right.
that's pretty
Like
fascinating.
Dex's Diner.
Yeah, all the grease.
You would, Grease Badge.
Yeah, that's where I got my name from.
Yeah, from Dex himself.
Yes, the man.
Dude. Yeah.
I didn't know that he resigned from the Boston Pops Orchestra because of creative and,
Yeah.
interpersonal issues.
Yeah.
That's a
Just,
huge thing, and it's good that he did it.
it really is, man. Those thick-headed orchestra players, you know.
Yeah, they
I
are
know
playing
several.
jobs.
I know
Yeah, they're
several
playing
orchestra
jobs.
players. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope you're listening.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty cool story. I didn't know that either. Good for
Hmm.
him
And to
because
get back again is good,
yeah, exactly.
to
'Cause-
state your value.
yeah, because yeah, whenever I was hearing this, I was like, oh, what? Like that's crazy. Like I thought I was thinking in my head, I thought for some reason there was this huge connection between the two.
Hmm.
But then I was like, oh, he came back. Oh, okay, gotcha. So that was pretty cool.
But that was one like big thing he did for this whole uh, serious versus entertainment music shithole.
Hmm.
That was the issue where people didn't take the music seriously that he wanted to play.
Hmm.
And what actually John Williams did contributed so much on like closing this gap.
Exactly,
Pretty
dude.
tight.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, which I get, it's kind of like in the jazz world, like the jazz musicians who like really shit on Kenny G, right?
Hmm.
It's like, oh man, you sold out. Like you just went commercial, or like Chris Bodie, right?
Hmm.
The trumpet player. And yeah, it's just, yeah, it's we get that in a lot of different genres, I would say. Usually
Mm-hmm.
the more
Educated one.
academic.
Yeah, academic.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, so that was pretty interesting to kind of listen to and hear about. Um, so well, actually, really quick, I do want to get back to the primal instincts thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have had this theory for a while that's really similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this was just like validation for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've because like for me, whenever I'm writing music, whenever I'm going for certain things, like I will get this feeling inside of me whenever I get something exactly right, like what I'm going for in my head. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I'm writing it, like I get this chord progression, or I orchestrate it this certain way, or get this melody a certain way, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, like I yeah, it's just like whenever I get it right and exactly what I'm going for, I have this like feeling that I get inside that I've learned to pay attention to and kind of like inform me that, oh yeah, like this, I've achieved
That's
what
the
I was
one.
going for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's the one to go with. And
But you know it in general when you play music which feels right, it is good, that you just know it, it's good.
yeah, that
It'll like in
too.
general do something, you know.
Yeah, from the other angle, yeah, like playing music, you can get that feeling too. Um, and specifically, so and it's kind of interesting. I've tried to explore it a little bit, and one thing that like it was like for this one piece recently that I say recently, but like a year ago, that I was trying to work on. I was drawing from memories from childhood, like specific. I don't know, for some reason, like these specific sounds that I was going for would kind of like invoke these memories from
Mm-hmm.
childhood,
Mm-hmm.
like visiting my dad at work or something, and like
Mm-hmm.
the like light coming through the big business windows, or like whatever the case, like 90s commercial stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, but just a combination of like childhood memories was informing this sound that I was going for harmonically, which was like a really like bright and nostalgic sound. And so I was like, oh man, like this is crazy. Is this, so my theory was, if we can make connections to compose music from memories like that,
Mm-hmm.
or that like fulfill or bring back those memories like that,
Mm-hmm.
so which is a really personal thing. Like these aren't just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
like I want to write music about a historical event. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's like your personal experience and
Mm-hmm.
things that you've been through. It's like, whoa, is that where music comes from? Or like, is that why music works the way it does? So then I was like, whoa, like what if that feeling that you get as a composer, or maybe as a listener, if something like just triggers you a certain way when you're
Mm-hmm.
listening, that feeling that you get, what if, so let me preface it with this. So I also get that feeling when I can't pinpoint it to a memory. And so my theory was, whoa, what if we have like generational memories,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
sure.
Like
Sure thing. Yeah.
passed down from
Mm-hmm.
like your great
Yeah.
grandfather, and there's like a thing in you, like maybe you obviously aren't going to see images of like the village that he was walking through or something, but like the feeling, or like there's like a memory validation or memory fulfillment, like for that is like fulfilling something like generationally passed down to you. I don't know. It's so hard to explain. So
I
like
mean, we have generational trauma, so we have a memory as well for that.
yeah. So see, like that, like that's interesting. Um, and that's kind of, yeah. I don't know. Hearing this whole primal instincts thing validates that
Mm-hmm.
theory that I had, because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, how else would we have this connection to the primal instincts? We haven't
Mm-hmm.
been quote unquote, gatherer hunters or hunter gatherers for like, who knows how long. So
Mm.
yeah, so like why do we so yeah, I guess it was just kind of validating like, oh, we do still have primal instincts in us and passed down to us.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, these this kind of like memories, like we can't
Mm-hmm.
pinpoint them obviously, but yeah, they operate the same way, it
Mm-hmm.
seems. And so yeah, it was just like super eye-opening for me because I've had this kind of theory in my head for a while. And yeah, I don't know.
Sweet. Yeah.
Kind of cool. Hopefully no one's like completely lost. That was really a really out there topic. But
They can skip. I'll listen to it again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You might have to, now that you know where we landed, you might have to go back and listen again to that. I know, got kind of like esoteric for a second, but anyway, so that
Good
was my,
validation. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was my full thoughts on that. I have a lot more notes here.
Yeah, shoot.
Um, yeah, let's touch on like, I guess, yeah, we can touch on like one more
Mm-hmm.
big thing and then we'll do a huge part two, maybe even a part three,
All
um,
right.
or more? Question mark? Somp? Um,
Sumpathon?
so, um, one thing I wanted to mention was the sequel trilogy really quick because J.J. Abrams was mentioning how, or I don't know, a few people I think were mentioning how John Williams wasn't changing his style or like his
Mm-hmm.
writing process, like
It
he's still
was
like,
Seth MacFarlane as well from
oh yeah,
Family
that's right.
Guy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, like not changing your style or writing process. And so, which yeah, like which is awesome. However, well, and actually let me preface it with the themes that we get in the sequel trilogy. There's so much gold, obviously. Like Ray's
Mm-hmm.
theme, for example, which they played in the
Mm-hmm.
documentary. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
He
there's
plays it live on the piano. Yeah.
like there is obviously beautiful, wonderful John
Mm-hmm.
Williams stuff that came out of the sequels. However, I think, and I've always thought this, I think the sound is too different from his Harry Potter scores and his other Star Wars scores. And by sound, I actually do think even like orchestrationally as well as sonically.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to figure out why, and I think I figured out why. I think it's just as simple as it's not the London Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah, it's a different orchestra. Yeah, it's LA
Right.
symphony.
It's like a studio, like an LA
Yeah,
studio orchestra,
yeah.
which is killing. Like that's great. Um, like super cool. But there is like a nostalgic part of me, maybe another really hot take of mine, but like really, yeah, I guess a nostalgic part of me that misses and kind of wishes we had the London Symphony Orchestra sound
Mm-hmm.
in the sequels. It just, I don't know, it did
It's different.
feel, yeah, it just did feel
Mm.
different, like a little more commercial. I don't know.
Yeah, besides the development of microphones and getting the more crystal clear sound out of the music. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, like Harry Potter and the prequels, they came out in, like the early 2000s. These came out like, the sequels came out like 10 years later. So yeah, I mean, there definitely were advancements. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, see, now I sound like a Boston Pops, um,
Snob.
but yeah, anyway, that's something I wanted to bring up was like, yes, he didn't change his style really. He didn't change his writing methods or anything, but
Hmm.
they do sound different to me. They do stand
Yeah,
out
they do.
to me.
They do. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on that.
Hmm.
Not, yeah, not trying to like knock anything, obviously. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just
It
maybe
must be a
just
different sound. It's a different whole orchestra,
yeah, like
different tradition.
a different hall, a different
Different, yeah, a
set
different
of mics
continent, different tradition of music playing
and recording methodology and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, sure.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah.
Sweet. I
So
like the fact that Joel likes to write for Harrison Ford uh to his acting when he's doing his cheeky little side eye.
Yes.
And that was fun.
Yes. That is also, yeah, that was a crucial, yeah, that's crucial to know.
Hmm.
Totally agree.
And the small motifs for the snakes in Indiana Jones.
Hmm.
To appreciate all this. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Sick. Well,
Sweet.
let's
That
call
should
it.
be it.
Let's
Yeah.
call it. Let's do a part two, at least.
Hmm.
I have so many more notes.
Yeah, good.
Really quite like not I don't want to say heavy, like dark, but like really heavy topics that came out of this that I want to
Hmm.
talk like musically that I want to talk
Hmm.
about and just like really cool stuff too. Like I have a really long list still of things that I'm excited to talk about with you. So
Yeah, sweet.
and everyone listening. So yeah, I don't want to mention them because I don't want to spoil anything else for you, but
No.
next
Nah.
week.
I have
Next
some more
week.
musical experience of the week, I realize,
Oh,
because
sweet.
I'm watching. So Sabrina and I finished the Clone Wars.
Mm,
We started watching The Bad Batch,
cool.
and we are now in the end of season 3 already. And this motif from Tantus reappeared, which is fascinating somehow to me. This and it's like goes all
Mm,
over again, which is very sterile motif for the Tantus, which is just looping all over again. It's not going anywhere.
yeah. Can you send like next week? You can
Mm-hmm.
have it, so that way we can analyze that
Yeah,
a little bit.
I
Because
will. Yeah, yeah,
I'm not familiar with it actually.
yeah. I will. Do some search on that. We
Yeah,
will find. Yeah,
cool.
it's
Okay.
probably on YouTube clip.
Yeah, right on.
I'll
Right
show
on.
it to you. Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Thanks for tuning in on SOMP 80.5 again.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about the documentary, what you want to maybe have discussed for next week. Let us know anything you like to hear from us, opinions, topics, anything.
Yeah. What are things you're excited about?
Yeah,
Um,
or not excited.
or worried about? Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the documentary? Will you see it again? What was your favorite part? Let us know. You can send us a voice message. You can send us an email on hellothere.somp@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's it.
Stay safe out there in the galaxy, everyone,
Yes.
and may the force be with you.
Always.